This is Older and Bolder with Larly. Yes, we're getting older, but we want to get the most out of life as we age. In this video, I want to review the choices I had to make in 2023, and I also want to talk about just having your documents in order.
Help! Help!
I turned 65 in October of 2023, and now this is January of 2024. I had to make a decision about Medicare because I knew I was going to be eligible, and there's a certain time period that you have to select a Medicare plan if you do not have certain circumstances, meaning you're working for an employer or for yourself and your medical care is being covered. My husband and I had a medical plan through Connecticut. However, I was turning 65, he's a year younger, so he needed to stay on that plan, and I knew I would have to come off that Connecticut plan. So I did my research in terms of what did I want to select for Medicare? Did I want Medicare Advantage, or did I want to do traditional Medicare with a Medigap or Medicare Supplement plan? I also knew I had to select Medicare Part D, which is prescription drug. Just to summarize, after all my research, I decided on traditional Medicare with a Medicare supplement. When I made that selection, I went online on the Social Security Administration website and I enrolled in Medicare. At the same time, I kept the Connecticut plan with myself and my husband because I wanted to make sure that I was enrolled in Medicare. I did that around the September timeframe, and I found out in October that I was enrolled in Medicare effective October 1st. When I got notified that I had been enrolled in Medicare, I could also go online to see. I made the decision it was around October 25th, I called Connecticut to say, I turned 65, I'm enrolled in Medicare, and I would like to come off the Connecticut plan, but you can keep my husband on. The rep took all of the information and told me it needed to go to another department, etc., but that she would get back to me. As I said, that was about the end of October 25th, and I said to the rep, I'm effective on Medicare October 1st, and I've already paid the premium to Connecticut for myself and my husband, so I would like what would have been placed on my premium or my account to go to my husband since he was staying on Connecticut. And she agreed and said, I have to still send that up for approval, etc. I said to my husband, it was October 31st, it was late in the evening, and I said to him, you're gonna have to go to the emergency room because I noticed he was having some tremors. His hands were shaking somewhat. Back and forth, my husband didn't want to go. He wanted to have a doctor's appointment, but I said, no, we're going to go. We're not gonna go 911, but I'm gonna drive. Before I took my husband to the emergency room, I went to get because we were home, I went to get his insurance card and I realized that I didn't have a new one. I logged onto the Connecticut website to see if there was any additional update in terms of did they give him a new subscriber number. When I looked, I noticed that Connecticut turned my husband and myself off that original policy effective September 30th, and my husband's new plan would begin November 1st. As he's having this hand tremor, it's October 31st, it's about 11:30 p.m., and I realize his plan is not gonna start till November 1st. By the time I get my husband prepared to go to the emergency room, I called a friend and my sister to come over and help. It's about 11:45. By the time we get to the emergency room, it is now about 5 minutes after midnight, and I knew his Connecticut plan had started. I want to say a couple of things about that, but let me go back to my situation with Medicare. I chose traditional Medicare. That premium is $174.70. I chose a Medicare supplement. That premium, monthly premium, is $160. I chose Medicare prescription drug plan. That plan is $6 for the year. While I'm doing the research, I'm thinking about, should I take my Social Security? I'm 65, yes, I have retirement money, but should I take my Social Security? And I was talking to a friend of mine and she asked me, are you gonna take your Social Security, Larly? I said, no, I'll just wait till I'm 66 and 8 months. And she said, why? It's your money. How much are you losing if you don't take it? now. And I kind of did some of the numbers and made a decision to take my Social Security, which again went online, applied for it, and it became effective January 24th. I want to say a couple of things in what I observed in terms of insurance, Social Security, and our health, and being organized. When you're thinking about your insurance, whether you're with an employer or you're self-employed or you're getting your insurance from maybe the state or the government, try to keep your documents in order. Very important. You don't want to be running around trying to figure out what's the subscriber ID. Did you pay the premium? I think it's almost more effective to pay the premium automatically. If you can do it, let it come out of a checking account or off a credit card. That way there's no lapse in your coverage. Number two, in being organized, I think about having everything in one place as it relates to important information. I authored a book. The reason I published and created this book is because I always have been a person that kept information in one place. And I'm finding out how important it is to be efficient and to put your hands on the information that you need. This is the book I was referring to, Bill Payer Tracker Made Easy. This is a book that I created and I published on Amazon. It is a place where you can put your information as you pay your bills so you can keep track of them. This book also has sections for important information. It's very portable, very easy to use, and it will be a handy tool for you as you're working your way in getting organized. Thanks again for supporting me. I know many of you have purchased this book. Be sure when you buy it on Amazon to leave a review. Thanks again. Now let's get back to today's episode. Whenever I make phone calls, in my case, I was making phone calls to Connecticut in reference to our insurance policy that we initially had together, my husband and I write down the date, the rep's name, and any details associated with the call, as well as a call reference number. Yes, I'm plugging my book, but if you go on Amazon, not only can you keep track of your bills with this book, but I have sections that list important information. That way, when I need to, if I'm out and I need to make a follow-up phone call, I have the information in front of me. So in the case with Connecticut, I had the details in my book so I could reference back who I talked to, what we talked about, and the reference or the incident number. I also want to say to you, this is a year I'm noticing, and even as we grow older, and this is no shade to anyone, this is just my thought about being organized and getting rid of things we don't need. There's places, Goodwill, Salvation Army. One man's junk is another man's treasure. And I'm not saying that to be offensive, but these are places where they will take donations, most time refurbish those donations, and sell them to fund other programs for individuals. If you're looking around your house and you see you have items you're not using, haven't used, they're way back in the corner on a shelf, why not consider donating it to one of those organizations? You can Google these organizations and pick the one that is best for you. So I want to say we want to think about getting more organized and being more efficient in 2024. And it starts with having an action plan with small steps, and it will help you to have success. I'm going to talk about that more in 2024. Again, it's Larly with Older and Bolder with Larly. Yes, we're getting older, but we want to get the most out of life as we age. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe.